days after Diwali here, back in the Delhi offices for Krishnendra Banerjee and myself, Rajesh Gupta. Not very pleasant if you're an Indian cricket fan. I know Abhishek Shetty is smiling in Mumbai because Mumbai Indians have retained Rohit Sharma in a dramatic announcement on Diwali evening, as it turned out to be. But it wasn't that pleasant just a couple of days later in Mumbai, right in Mumbai, where Shetty is based out of. India lost to New Zealand in. I mean, look, guys, it was a historic test triumph for New Zealand. You have to applaud, you have to stand up, clap for the Black Caps. Kudos to Tom Latham and his guys. But for India, shameful, shameful for the test team. And you have to be strong because, I was listening to some commentators, I was listening to experts. Very few of them have been scathing. I want to take 30 seconds to sum up my disappointment. The insane fandom in this country. You have to give credit to the BCCI. They do everything possible for the players, and you have to give credit to the infrastructure in the country. India, the most powerful cricketing nation in the world. You can say, fine, this can happen after 12 years, but come on, a 3-0 whitewash? Not happening. To New Zealand without Kane Williamson. Shouldn't happen. And you've lost in your own conditions. Bangalore, a little bit of seam and swing there. We said, okay, maybe it's just that one bad day. Pune, it was your pitch. Mumbai, it was your pitch. Krish, what on earth is happening? Can't
I
your
mean,
batters play spin anymore?
you just said that BCCI has handled it well. I would say BCCI is also to be blamed here because
How? Why?
the pitches you have been preparing forever, you are making turners. You are not giving. See, Indians right now they cannot play spin that well. The generation of the spin playing team is over.
Hmm.
Look at Sarfaraz Khan. I mean, he has batted on some of the good pitches. He has batted throughout and he has scored those runs. Now, suddenly, you are making dust bowls kind of pitches, and you expect those guys who do not even turn up for Ranji Trophy or Dilip Trophy to
Hang
play
on. So
spin.
is this the first time India have played Test cricket on turning pitches? Was it not the
Go,
case in the 1990s?
no,
Was it not the case in the early
they
2000s?
were better equipped because they were regularly playing domestic cricket.
And who
These guys
asks
they
for these
don't
pitches particularly? Who asks for these
exactly,
pitches? Come on.
exactly. See, the
So how do you
players
blame the
do.
board?
The board should also step in and say, no, this is not happening. You play to your strength. This is your strength. This is not your strength. See, it's not that BCCI is made out of all those businessmen and who do not understand cricket. There are a lot of people who understand cricket. There was a change when Ganguly was there. He tried to get in those grassy pitches to better seam-friendly conditions. I mean, okay, fine. You are not equipped to play on those sort of pitches, but these pitches, I mean, in Mumbai, the ball was turning from day one. Every Mumbai batter failed. You are not even able to play on your own home ground.
Krish, Krish, what you're trying to do is very skillfully train the gun on the BCCI, and that is not right. This is a defeat that calls for questions, and questions need to be answered. I'll tell you why. You know how the BCCI functions. You know that they do not really interfere as such with on-field tactics, and these are on-field tactics decided
Are
by
you
the team
sure?
management, the coach, the captain, not the BCCI. It's not the final call to take call on these pitches. Otherwise, they would have gone and said, you know what, you're preparing for Australia. Let's just go and set you up like on a Perth-like pitch in Pune. Wankhede could also have dished up a faster surface, right?
Yes.
Had they not.
And India would have won if that was that kind of surface India had got.
Extreme conditions always backfire, Shetty, don't they? I mean, we've seen that happen to England in 2014 against India at Lords. We've seen that happen to South Africa in 2018 against India. They often seem to backfire against the home team because there's so much
I
pressure.
think
What Krish is
I
saying
think
is,
yeah,
the players are such superstars that they should have been handled by the BCCI.
yeah.
Are they young infants?
No, I totally disagree with what Krish is saying. We are talking about the least concerning part. We are not speaking about the part that New Zealand came and they also played on the same pitch, which was made by us. It was created by us, asked by us. Leave all that. What is the main reason why we lost this series and in such a shameful manner? I like to use the word shameful manner. We have been whitewashed under in our home condition for the first time in a three-match series. What is to be blamed? We are not speaking about Rohit Sharma. We are not speaking about Virat Kohli or Gautam Gambhir. Gautam Gambhir used to sit in studios and used to say that what has Ravi Shastri achieved as a player or as a coach. I like to ask the same question even now. Is in a small tenure, he has already lost an ODI series and now got whitewashed in a test series. Why are we not speaking about that? What, and only thing I agree with Krish about BCCI being wrong is that assigning Gautam Gambhir as the head coach of Team India. What was his
No,
achievements before that?
hang
What do
on.
you
So
think?
in the first 5 minutes, Krish has blamed the BCCI. You're blaming the coach. Is the coach supposed to go out and battle Virat Kohli and Rohit Sharma?
No,
What
he's
is the coach
supposed to
supposed to do?
he's supposed to have the guts to drop Virat and Rohit ahead of crucial
No, you
series.
can't.
He
You
has
can't.
he
You,
has
you're
that.
asking Gautam Gambhir, a few month old India coach, to do what no
But
other coach in the past has done.
that's what he
Greg
used to
Chappell
say,
tried to do
right?
that many years back. You sacked him. You threw him out of the team. Come
No,
on.
Yeah, but
no.
that's
No,
what he
plus
used to say, right?
who is going to step in? I mean, you draw Virat and Rohit. Who are the other batters you have? KL Rahul has struggled equally.
What are they
Sarfaraz Khan has
contributing?
struggled.
What is Virat and Rohit contributing? What
What
step in? What is
others have
equivalent
not
to
contributed
zero?
equally.
Anything about zero is good, dude. Anything about they have
Others
not scored
there
total
are
100 runs in this entire
others
series.
have not contributed either. So you are failing collectively. It's not on just two players because
Yeah, but
just because they
Rishabh
have
was
been
good.
there.
Well,
Yeah, I mean he
Rishabh
was
was
good.
good. Shubman
Shubman
played
was
good.
good, but not everyone has equally contributed. This series has
Gave
been
everyone a
bad.
chance.
This series has been bad for Virat and Rohit. Fine, these things
Not
happen.
this series. In the last 10 innings they have played, both
Yeah,
Virat
10
plus
innings
Rohit
means
have not scored. KL Rahul individually has scored more runs than Virat plus Rohit in the last 10 innings. Imagine how bad they have to be. It's not just about this series, it's about their last 10 innings. What they did against Bangladesh. Virat Kohli
see
scored 5 runs in the last test, his lowest ever in a test match. Are you
it could
saying that
go
he's
wrong.
still
It could
there?
go wrong. It could go wrong. I mean, when you are
It
not,
went wrong.
it went wrong for Virat and Rohit for sure. But I mean, these things happen, right? It's not that I mean they haven't won you the matches. They have. So I mean, you have to give them that leeway.
Even
Fine,
Sachin
it has
has
gone
get him
down.
back.
No,
No,
What
this
are
is
you
a
this
little
is
saying?
telling. This is a little telling on our analysis that we are still doing Kohli, Rohit, and we're still doing others when India have collectively lost 3-0. We should
yeah,
be alarmed
exactly.
as what's
Yeah.
happening. Right? We
So
should be
that's why I'm
alarmed.
blaming
And
the
it's not just
coach.
Virat and Rohit. Shetty, it's not just Virat and Rohit or Krish. It's not just, it's not the BCCI, it's not the coach. The coach has just taken over. You now you're blaming Gautam Gambhir, but look back a few years from, a few years ago, there were telling signs. When you lose a test match to Australia, when you lose a test match to England, and you lose a test match to England which should have been won, those are telling signs. The telling signs are not are not just the test defeats. The telling signs are also the mini collapses you've had against Spain. The telling signs are your inaptitude against left-arm bowlers. Ejaz Patel comes and picks 10 wickets in Wankhede 3 years ago. He comes and picks 10 wickets across two innings this time, thankfully, but we still lose. So this is telling. It is not one coach. It is not one. You seem to be blaming all the ills of India's technical deficiencies with the bat on Gautam Gambhir, who's just taken over as coach, or on BCCI. They can't help it. You
What
played
I'm
on
saying
turning
is
pitches before.
what I'm saying is, well, we have seen Gautam Gambhir criticize everyone and everything in the past, right? Like
So
even he hasn't spared anyone. He was very indirect. He was
yeah,
like, "I'm a very direct person. I'll do
fair
whatever I
enough.
want to do." Okay, so do you think that he has the guts to drop? Okay, drop not from the squad. No one can drop them. It's about the
Maybe he
selectors.
does. Maybe he does. He has. Maybe he has the guts.
Oh,
We don't.
so you're
We don't
saying
know.
that he will
What
drop
can it
Virat?
be done? That is what Krish asked you. So since you mentioned that twice now, this is what he asked, and I would like to re-emphasize that question. Drop Virat and Rohit and pick who? You mentioned Shubman and Rishabh, but they're already in the team. Pick who?
But
And who
no,
is
I'm
to
saying that
complement that
there's
number
so
four
many
position?
talented players
Like,
waiting,
like
like Ishwaran. Have you given
Ishwaran
Ishwaran
is
a
there in the
chance?
Australian squad. He is there in
Yeah,
the
but
Australian squad.
will he play? Will he play? Ruturaj has
How do
gone
we
there as
know?
Come on.
India's ace captain. Will he
I mean,
play?
How
He won't play.
can you? So
Ishwaran over
you saying
Rohit.
that Virat should be dropped for Perth? Is that what you're saying? Rohit may or may not be part of the Perth test. You're saying Rohit
Yeah,
Virat should be dropped for the Perth test.
I'm saying if yeah, first of all, let me just be very clear. I'm saying yes, he should be. Secondly, I'm asking you, will Gautam Gambhir go ahead and drop him? He won't.
It is not
He
up to
won't
the coach
drop him.
alone. It is not up to the coach alone to take a
Who else
decision like that,
decides
Shetty.
that?
You should know that. In terms
Who
of
else
Indian
decides
cricket,
that? Who else
it is
decides
it
for
is
a
the
player?
captain. It is like, so you mean to
So if
say
Rohit
that
is not
Jasprit
there,
Bumrah. So okay, so what you're saying is that the onus is now on Gautam Gambhir, who's barely finished 3 or 4 months of his tenure as India coach, and
yeah.
Jasprit Bumrah. to take a call on dropping Virat Kohli, to take a decision on dropping one of India's greatest batters for a test
Mhm.
series where India need to win 4-0, where Virat has a fantastic record in Australia, maybe not the last, the penultimate tour, and you saying they should drop Virat Kohli for Perth in a series where they
Yeah.
need to win 4-0.
Yeah. I'm asking you a question. I'm asking you. You said that there were signs. There were signs that
Yeah,
we are going to face this thing. There are clearly signs that Rohit and Virat are not on top of their form.
yeah,
Okay, we all
yeah,
know that they're dipping. Okay,
yeah.
forget Australia. I will ask you a rhetorical question, and then I'll judge you what you think about Gautam Gambhir as a coach and why I'm blaming him. If we fail in Australia, like 4-1 lose, and in the next test series against whoever, do you think he'll have the guts to drop Rohit? He'll have the guts to drop Virat? Do you think he'll do
He
it?
should, he should, he should. And it is not, again, agree, it is not up to the coach alone. When you come and take those decisions,
It is a
look,
collective
think
decision,
about
yes.
when you're answering and when you're asking those questions, think about the history that you see in Indian cricket. Saurav Ganguly was dropped from the team many years back. There were rallies. There were rallies in the city. Dravid was dropped. It wasn't taken kindly. Tendulkar was never dropped, and it could have never happened. MS Dhoni was never dropped. It could have never happened. Virat Kohli, you don't want to drop a player like that because this is not the structure that you've had. Okay. Now
That's
you're
why.
saying
That's the
if
reason.
he had to be dropped.
That's the
Yes,
reason. And we'll
absolutely.
keep on
Absolutely.
losing.
That is
We'll
the
keep
only
on
reason.
losing. Yeah.
You keep on losing. Absolutely. This is what happens. This is what happens when you attract, when you give importance to superstardom over
Yeah.
anything else. That has been one of the ills. We are a very proud cricketing nation, but when something like this happens, you have given credence to superstardom. I mean, this was one of what you both said was actually giving credence to what I'm saying. It's now Virat as Rohit. Who is going to replace them? Why is it not a collective failure? Why aren't you then asking questions of previous batting coaches, Krish? Did they not point it out to Virat Kohli, or are they so strong-headed that they didn't listen to someone like Vikram Rathore?
Come on. I mean, Virat Kohli and Vikram Rathod, there is not even a comparison. Yeah, I mean, when
That's what I'm
someone
saying.
like
You're
someone like
answering that
Rahul
question
Dravid,
for me.
someone like Rahul Dravid says something, Virat Kohli would listen to him. But Vikram Rathod, I mean,
He's a batting coach.
someone who has, let's say, what, some
Ah,
close to
okay.
30,000 runs
So this is what
collectively.
my point, right? That superstardom wins over anything else. So you're trying to
The
back me up with this.
superstardom comes with those kind of runs, right? You are not super like Mohammad Siraj is not yet a superstar. He would listen to everyone. Virat Kohli is because he has built that over the years. It's not just after the series you are calling him super. Yes, I would have said that if someone has called Shubman Gill a superstar, he is not. Virat Kohli, Rohit Sharma, they have built
But
those
superstars
over the
also
years.
have an expiry date, right? Just because he's a superstar
Yes.
doesn't mean he can keep on playing for the rest of his life. That's what I'm
Yeah,
saying. No doubt.
true,
Greatest player ever
but
I've seen,
this
Virat
is
Kohli. But
fine,
come
but
on,
this
bro.
stage cycle is still on. That is where the WTC is the end, right? That is when the
We are
expiry
not
comes in.
reaching there. We are not gonna reach the
Fine.
finals of WTC. Yeah.
Okay. You still have Australia series coming up. That is where you will be judged. If you do not do well, you will be phased out. There are other players who will be coming up, even though they fail. But again, the problem is, are you going to send someone like Ishwaran directly to England, where everyone struggles? Do you have the batters who can actually shine in England? KL Rahul, here and there, he does. Who else? Nobody has those kind of runs.
But looking at their
You are
form,
banking on
neither are Rohit
completely,
and
but you are completely banking on those youngsters who haven't even been tested by the world's best. No,
but
and also
Krish
conditions.
When it comes to dropping Kohli, look, that is a serious call and
and
that is a
Rohit
very
and
big call.
Rohit.
And
Both.
Rohit, I mean the captain. You're
Rohit,
suggesting that
Rohit
you
will
drop the
step down.
captain
Rohit
and
will step down if India lose in Australia and India do not qualify for
I think
WTC.
Virat will
That's
as
all.
well. In all fairness, if India lose and if India don't make it to the WTC final, but again, but the WTC final, I know there's been talk around that, but that shouldn't be the only focus because India have reached the first two editions of the WTC finals. They've reached that pretty comprehensively. They've been pretty good. They didn't win those tournaments, different topic. But and now look at the scenario. Since one of you mentioned it, India have to win 4-0 to get there. Provided South Africa, of course, also they're also playing Sri Lanka and Pakistan at home. Now, if if some of the results go India's way, New Zealand draw with England, one South Africa draw 1-1 at home in their remaining two series, and Australia draw against Sri Lanka without either of those two winning any test matches. So it's a 0-0 draw. India have to lose 2-3 to Australia. That's still acceptable. That'll still take them to the finals
Yeah.
of the World Test Championship. So it's very complicated now. Now, for you to think that this Indian team with this level of confidence, winning four Test matches in Australia, for me, wow, that's something. And then you have to draw the other one, or maybe win 5-0, or even if you're losing, you lose only three and win two. Very, very complex. But I
I
know
think
yeah,
I think India can still qualify if they win 3-0 because Australia will also lose PCT, and that is where South Africa and someone will get in. India will be one of the two. That's all. You have to be one of the. You do not need to finish top, right? So there is still a chance. And I mean, we keep talking about Australia, Australia. We have won there. I mean, it's not the first time we even. I mean, with what? I mean, with net bowlers, we have won a series almost. We have
yeah.
beaten them with net bowlers. Now we still have Bumrah. We still have Bumrah, we still have Siraj, Akashdeep. There is enough strength there, but
We
yeah, I
had
mean,
Pujara.
we had. But we also have someone like, let's say, Sarfaraz, who can, I mean, you don't know because they are not tested yet in Australia that well.
Yeah,
So,
absolutely.
see, that is where the problem is. Currently, the problem will be we are neither with a short of runs and short of experience in Australia. The experienced guys are the short of runs, and the people who are kind of scoring runs, they're short of experience. So it is going to be a challenging tour for everyone. But to say that Virat and Rohit should be dropped before one of the most important tours, I don't think there is any merit to it because these are the two
Hmm.
guys you will always bank on in difficult situations. They fail there,
Absolutely.
Yeah.
fine.
I
Shetty,
agree with you. I agree with you on this.
there is also the fact that there is no Cheteshwar Pujara, there is no Ajinkya Rahane. I know we're going to shoot past 15 minutes, but this is one of those days when we are all fuming as Indian fans. We're depressed, we're hurting, and this is, words have been used, embarrassing and humiliating. There is a lot of pain, right? We can't get over the fact that we've lost 3-0 to New Zealand, and understand New Zealand team, which should and that shouldn't have happened. But you're also going to Australia in a few days from now. You're playing that first Test match in Perth. There is no Pujara, who scored a truckload of runs in 2018. He took a lot of hit the last time India toured there. There was Ajinkya Rahane, his gutsy captaincy. But also don't forget that by the time India went into that last Test match in Brisbane, they were, they had to pick players from their reserves, from the depth of their reserves.
Yeah.
And you're talking of Gautam Gambhir, you're talking of BCCI, but one guy who deserves a lot of credit, two guys actually, Ravi Shastri and Bharat Arun, because of the way they strategized and planned. It's one thing is skill sets. There's no doubt that these guys have that skill set, a set of skills, but it is also about that sort of discipline, that determination to go out there and show Australia that we are much better than them. Shetty, a lot of pressure this time on India because they would want to keep that clean slate against Australia
I
being
think
beaten over the last 10 years.
I think India will go there with no pressure from my point of view. After such a down dip, losing whitewash, no one is expecting, like, I'm not expecting them to win this series. I'm expecting them to win one odd match out of the five. Okay, fine. So I don't think they'll go out with pressure. And like you said, we all know if this thing goes down, Virat and Rohit are out. They will retire themselves. I don't think Gautam has that in him to drop them or anything. I was just saying hypothetical situations, but yeah, so I don't think they'll go in pressure or anything like that. Australia's obviously the favorites to win now, so more obvious. But yeah, let's see.
There'd be pressure, Krish. I mean, careers are on the line now with Rohit and Virat. They've done so much. I mean, look, when we are panning them now, it doesn't mean that they haven't done anything for Test cricket. Virat Kohli revamped and revitalized the format, not just for India, but for the world. I mean, the way he plays Test cricket, he played Test cricket over the last 5 years. His averages have dipped, his the numbers have dipped against spin. He's not been particularly good against left-arm bowlers of any ilk. But careers will be made, and it's not just the focus shouldn't be on those two. The focus should be on someone like Sarfraz as well. He made 150, some ridiculous shot selection. Um, there will be question marks asked of a lot of them. Shubman Gill, yes, fantastic knock in the first innings, couldn't quite get going in the second. Also, the bowlers, did they necessarily step up whenever they needed to? Gautam Gambhir was right in pointing out that it wasn't, you can't just blame the batters here. The bowlers also have to take
No,
flack,
of course,
take
of
some
course.
flack.
Someone like Ashwin, for sure. Ashwin is a, I mean, we
Yeah.
always call him a home track bully. He is a bully. At home, there is no one better than Ashwin. But he has been. So we see that the deep is not just because of two players. It is a collective deep, right? I mean, your three best players who would have, I mean, won you a match any day, all three have deep. Jadeja did well in this stage, but before that, he was also not doing really great. So Jadeja is now occupying a place with hardly any contribution. Akshay Patel is just warming the bench in, I mean, in his place. So yeah, I mean, obviously there is a lot of revamp needed, but not in Australia because this is where you have to stick to those guns and expect that they to do better. And every time you put India under pressure and you humiliate them, they always come back. They always fight back. And see, after 36, India won that. So that is something I expect that to happen. And beating this Australia is also not a very big task. I mean, this Australia is almost, I would say, it's more gas than I mean what people think. They're not invincible in even in their own backyard. We did that earlier. We can do it again, and even with these guys, for sure.
Okay. Before we go, Shetty, Australia, India. Is
Yeah.
46 going to be India's new badge of honor after 36?
What? Sorry. Can you repeat
Is
your question?
46 India's new badge of honor after 36?
Yeah, absolutely. And forget the 46. This entire series washout. I think Rohit will trade his T20 World Cup to just win one match in this series. It's a very big, what do we say? It's a lalchan on Indian cricket. I'm being a fan. Leave. I'm working for sports, etc. Being a fan, I couldn't see that what was happening. I was inside the stadium. People were abusing. They were going nuts. How can we lose a test series and get whitewashed? Losing is still fine. Like Krish mentioned, we went to Australia and we got better of them, but we didn't whitewash them or anything like that. So 46, 36, all that is fine, but getting whitewashed at home, it was like too much.
Okay. Krish, 46, 36, important because of what Ravi Shastri did with that team. Turning it around. We all heard his speeches, which went viral at that time. Very inspiring. And we all heard what the players would come out and say. Does Gautam Gambhir have it in him to turn it around as a man manager? Because he's a street fighter. He is passionate about the sport.
I,
But can he
I, I
do it?
don't I don't think you need Gautam Gambhir to do that anyway. Or Rohit, Virat, they know himself what has happened because in their lifetime they haven't been whitewashed at home. So they know that they would bounce back. And because I expect that it to be their last Australia tour. So they would definitely do that and they will inspire the team for sure.
Yeah, man, no Indian team has been whitewashed 3-0 at home. Of course, the last time we were whitewashed at home was 2-0 against South Africa when we were still young kids in school. It was many, many years ago. And now we're professionals in the media industry. And like Shetty said, it's just not as sports professionals, it's as fans that we're hurting. It's annoying to see what just went down in Mumbai over the weekend. And hopefully India will be tuned up for Australia because don't forget, this is again, not just about the World Test Championship. This is about the Border Gavaskar Trophy, which many Indian cricketers will tell you it's more hype than India Pakistan. Some of the Australian cricketers will tell you that this is now more prestigious than the Ashes. Plenty at stake. And there's also 5 test matches these days, right? Where because there is more revenue, there are more sponsorships that they want you to come and play 5 test matches. Well, it's going to be historic, it's going to be fun, and it's going to rekindle some old memories. Waking up early for us in India to watch everything unfold in Perth from the last week of November. So do stay tuned in to Inside Sport for a lot more action, for a lot more animosity on the Unfriendly Cricket podcast, because that's what's supposed to do. We ask the questions no one else dares to ask on this high voltage, high octane podcast. Thank you so much. Have a great week ahead, and we'll see you with a lot more very soon.